Today we're going to be doing a proximity shader tutorial. As you're seeing right now, it's like a tutorial to get the shader to have two shaders and the driver to kind of change it across time. It's going to be done pretty easily with just a mesh and also an empty to make sure we can do it. Let's jump right in. So we have the default cube. Let's scale on the Y to make it a bit longer. And then let's just do Control A to apply the scale. And let's add our driver. So we're going to empty sphere, and let's say shader driver. Grab Y, grab Z, pull it up. Geometry nodes, new system. We're going to pull in the shader driver. And now we want to get a nice gradient between the location of the shader driver and the mesh itself. So that is done with the position node. So we're going to do a capture attribute, get the position, and I think this should be fine. And then we're going to do a vector math. And to get the position, we're going to subtract this location and this one. Again, if we have two vectors on an XY plane, right? It's like Y, X. We have point A, point B, right? We want to get the location of the vector from going from here to here, and it's B minus A, I'm pretty sure. Because if this is 2, 2, this is 1, 1, we want to know that this is going to go 1, 1, so it's 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 1 for that. Fantastic. Cool. So we're getting this, and now we have it a nice little, now we have this vector space centered on the empty. So if we move this around like this, we look back into the system, it shifts it and changes it. So if we do a separate XYZ, if I do that right, a separate XYZ, pop this in, look at just the Y, we're gonna have a nice gradient along the Y axis. So we can move it like this. We have a black and a white and a nice little in-between that'll help drive the shader differences. So this is the main mask. We've already made it right here. It's that easy. So we're gonna say a store named attribute. This is so we can capture the mask data and use it in the shader editor. So we're gonna call this a float, that's fine. And we'll say shader mask. So that's the main thing. And we can also add in some noise beforehand. So this is what we're seeing. So if we add in another vector math, and we add in some noise, pop that in, and we'll have to actually increase the subdivision. So subdivide mesh right here, make it like 5. And now we have all of these different kind of waviness inside the actual mesh, which can make the border between look a bit better. We can lower the scale. We can lower the scale maybe to 1. And also if we were to do 4D, we could animate the noise over time with the W value. But for now, let's just keep it like this. This is all piping in, it's looking good. So let's say set material, and it's this material right here. Fantastic. Now into the shader editor, we're gonna wanna call this. So Control C, shader, Shift A, attribute, paste, and we see it. It's inside. Fantastic. So to do a mix between two different shaders, we can have two different materials, one a principal BSDF, and let's just do a glass BSDF. And we're gonna do a mix shader. So we have this shader and that shader, and then we have this color output as the factor between. So if we pipe it in like this, we're going to see that where it's white, we see the glass shader because that's on the bottom, and where it's black, we see the principled BSDF because that's on the top. So it's looking like that as well. Fantastic. So that's the main effect. And then what we can do between this is let's also turn on ray tracing. And then let's go into displacement and bump, ray trace transmission, and all of that stuff to help clean up it a little bit. And we had to add a plane at the bottom so we can see, grab Z, scale 10. Fantastic. So in layout mode, we can see if we click this and move it, we're getting a material reveal. As easy as that. And then you can animate that over time down here in the right here in the timeline, but it's by keyframing it. So we can go on the Y side, let's say here, N for Nelly. We find the location data, we push a Y, an I for putting in the keyframe. We go, let's say 3 seconds. So I like to do 60 frames per second, so I'll do 180. Pull it out here, and we pull it across like that. There you are. It's going a bit slow. Let's say Control A, T to change the interpolation, make it linear. If we drag this keyframe a bit faster, let's see how this looks now. Also, we're on the wrong frame rate. Not too bad. Grab this keyframe and paste it at the end. There you go, you got a little loop. That's how to do the effect in a nutshell. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want to get this file or you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the description below. And I have a Patreon as well for project files and different things. Thanks so much, guys. Hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Augury.